Hello everyone, it's Pat with our Oracle card reading and messages and forecast, energy forecast for the upcoming week. The 29th, 30th of July, going into the beginning of August. So we're in a transition time. We're entering, I know for those of us here in the Northern Hemisphere, we're entering the last part of our summer. It always seems to go by so fast. But anyways, so as I usually do for this week's reading, I'm going to be calling on the Archangel Oracle cards to see who our Archangel is to work with for the week. And this week, let's see, I was drawn to work with Archangel Gabriel. She's an angel who obviously announces, she heralds things. And so I felt guided to work with that. And I was also drawn to this is the tarot deck that was done by Doreen and Radley. The Angel Tarot. This one. So, although I think in the newer versions of it, Doreen's name is no longer on it because she removed it. But so, anyways, we'll see what that has, what we have going on for this week. So our Archangel for this week is Michael, with the message that you are safe. Now, if you recall, last week we got Shamuel, and I did convey that when that card shows up and people do pass, it's because people are passing, and we did have some tragedies this week. There was our thoughts and prayers go out to the people in Greece, and there's actually many other places. I mean, California has been barraged with wildfires again too. But there's many places around the world that have been suffering devastating earthquakes. Vanuatu, the whole island has to be evacuated because of the volcanic ash. So there's serious stuff going on in the world. And Michael's message here, Shamuel let us know last week, it was about being of comfort and sending comfort out to those people who are grieving the losses of loved ones. And this week, Michael's here with a message about you are safe. And he says, I am protecting you against lower energies and guarding you, your loved ones, and your home. So Michael comes in to remind us to work with his energy. Michael is incredibly protective. And so I feel like what it heralds for this week is that Michael's working with us, because when things like that happen in the world, it generates a lot of fear. And so I feel like a lot of us are going to be looking at, what's our backup plan? What if something devastating happens in our area? I know last week there was a lot of flooding along the whole east coast of the United States too, which resulted in people being evacuated as well. So there's real concerns here about safety and what would we do if there's freaky hailstorms that have been showing up. So this is Michael's helping you in this instance to look into what's your backup plan. I also feel like Michael's always around when there's heightened negativity around. Okay. It's either the result of fear-based energies from what's going on in the world, but there is also just, and I'm not quite sure how to phrase it, but there is negativity, and there are evil spirits out there, let's face it. If you are a reader of any spiritual text, especially if you're brought up Christian and read the Bible a lot, you know that Jesus himself did a lot of work removing demons from people. So those kinds of entities are around, and they hover around even more when there's a lot of fear and negativity, because they feed off that stuff. And so, and I'm not saying that to scare you, but so Michael and Jesus and other divine beings work to remove that kind of negativity. They escort away those kinds of evil spirits, if you will. So anyways, work with Michael, and he's helping to lift the negativity. You can send Michael and his band of mercy angels out to masses of people. So if you are feeling unsafe in any way, call on him to surround your home, your family, your children. In your work environment, you can call on him to protect you. And any kind of travel that you're doing, you can call on him to go with you. So anyways, he's here with providing his protection for us, but you do have to call on him and ask for it. as with all the angels, they can't override your free will. So you do have to invoke his energies for his safety and protection. And one of the ways he works with us, actually one of the ways a lot of the angels work with us when we call upon them, is they give us ideas. They give us insights as to something that we can do. So he helps you to put your protections in place. You know, maybe having extra insurance, getting the tires looked at. It can show up in a variety of different ways. But after you call on Michael, do with what you're guided to do. So anyways, he's working on our behalf this week to help us all to feel safe and do what we need to do additionally in the physical world to help us feel safe, okay? So, moving on to the Gabriel cards. All right. So, and there was 3 that popped out, and then there was just a sort of an extra one that I felt needed to come out too. So I pulled it out along with it. So the beginning of our week with Gabriel, we have this card that says the Editor. Now, a lot of this deck that Doreen made, a lot of the messages in it are kind of around people who are around messages of writing, because Gabriel is thought of as the messenger angel, and a lot of people get their messages out through writing. But when I look at these cards, I kind of look in general as to more of their, I want to say more of a generic meaning. So this card says, and this is for the beginning of our week, it says Editor, and it says your writing or other creative project benefits from outside help and support. So as we're entering the week, the sense that I get about this, I'm really called to or drawn to the word editor. Now, you may, in fact, have something that you're writing and putting together, or you could be looking at other areas of your life. What I get about this card is at the beginning of the week, we're looking at tweaking stuff. We're kind of looking back at, it might be a piece of writing, it might be a creative project, or it could be your home insurance, or things around your house, or your diet, and you're kind of editing it. You're looking at what needs to be tweaked, what could be added, what needs to be removed, that kind of thing. But the card further says that you could benefit from some outside help. So no matter what it is that you're editing and tweaking, okay, it's urging you to seek that outside help. If these were the mermaid cards, I think the card that we would have instead of this is consult an expert. So it is very beneficial, and this signals at the beginning of the week you're reaching, either it's letting you know that it's time to look for that outside help, or that you are in fact looking for that outside help. You're looking for that additional professional or piece of advice and to help you with whatever that you're tweaking or editing in your life. So the next message is Mother Mary. And it says the Blessed Mother is helping you with your divine life purpose. Okay? So I feel her energy just coming in. A very maternal energy that's coming in and influencing people this week with, having a more motherly, comforting, nurturing energy to yourself and the people around you. Okay? I also feel like a lot of people, in times like these when there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, earth events, political discord, things like that, people do look and reach for their spiritual support through their churches, their synagogues, their family of choice, the people who support them. And a lot of people are connecting with Mary as the motherly figure, because we do need some of that when there's a lot of negativity and things going on in the world, when there's been, shootings and things like that. It's just, there's a nurturing energy that's needed. So it's coming, this is heralding that coming in. I do feel like some people are connecting with her personally, because you want her specific kind of spiritual help and support. There's concerns for some people with regard to their mother or being a mother, for some of you out there. All right, and her influence is coming in to help heal that situation. So reach out to her. She, like many other divinities, they're non-denominational. It doesn't matter whether you were raised Catholic or Buddhist or some other religion. If you feel inclined to learn about or call upon Mary, do so. You don't have to be from a specific religion to call upon her. So there's loving, comforting energy coming in, and connection with her to bring healing to the world. okay? And I also get a message that she's heard your prayers. Some of you specifically who are watching this, she's heard you because you've already called and reached out to her. So this is a confirmation for you. So the next card that comes out more towards the end of the week sort of is this recognition. And it says, you and your accomplishments are receiving appreciation and honors. So this in some way that you are getting accolades. You might be getting an award. You might be getting a new job. You might be getting just recognized by your peers in some way. So accept it graciously. It's nice to know when these things come along that your good work is being recognized. So receiving appreciation. It's always nice to have that. So that's a nice way to end the week. Recognition, you're getting recognized. So the extra card that I just pulled out is this one, and it says authenticity. So it says, trust that your real self, whom God created, divinely perfect, has the strength and knowledge needed for this situation. So a lot of what this card is about is not, you know, it has to do with creativity, but not necessarily creating what, it's about bringing your authenticity to whatever it is that you're creating. Not, you know, copying or somebody else's work. Sometimes, and I don't mean that when I say copy somebody else's work, sometimes we look at how somebody else is doing it and maybe try to do something similar to it because their work is successful, and we kind of model it too, or take a cue from what they're doing. And there's nothing wrong with that as long as you're not plagiarizing. But it's about bringing the authentic you to what you're doing. Be willing to be yourself. And I remember, you know, I kind of got a message like this for myself when I first started doing card readings on YouTube. I thought, you know, Doreen, who was my teacher, did it successfully. You know, I could do it too. I could do a card reading. I've been doing them for other people. But I remember when I first tried and I was doing it, I remember very clearly hearing this message from my angels: don't try to be Doreen, just be you. And so that's what this card is, you know, message is about, because people are going to appreciate you, your talents, skills, and abilities for who you are. And it's important that you bring that, your talents, skills, and abilities to the situation, okay? So you're a little bit more than just a helping hand. You are, actually it's a great way to wake up in the morning too when you meditate. Okay, God, with all my talents, skills, and abilities, where do you need me to show up today? And that's what it's about, bringing your talents, skills, and abilities to whatever it is you're doing and being authentically creative, creating something new, maybe that hasn't been done before. So anyways, those are our messages from Gabriel. And let's see what these ones had for us. We still got some time left. Oh, Archangel Michael showing up, okay? With the wheel, a time of positive change. So a situation suddenly moves forward and fortune is on your side, okay? So the wheel is a pretty significant card in this deck. It's kind of like the wheels of change, the winds of change. And you know, it looks like this really mystical kind of gateway, you know. And so anyways, it's letting you know, despite all that's going on in the world, the political disruption, the earth changing, it is a time of positive change. Things are moving forward in a positive way, okay? You know, that editor card we got from Gabriel, it's kind of not a surprise that we're kind of, you know, reviewing or revamping, because re is a perfect thing to do. Anything beginning with re is a good thing to do during a Mercury retrograde cycle. And I think we're still in Mars retrograde too. So, but it says the situation suddenly moves forward. So, you know, as you're plucking away at it and doing your editing and removing what doesn't need to be there and looking at, it's going to propel it forward much more quickly. So that's good news, okay? Fortune is on your side. So that's always good to know too. And this one really highlights the positiveness. It says, this is the Six of Air, and it says, things are looking up. The end of a difficult situation, taking a trip. So there's clearly something lifted in this middle of the week time. And this is, with the Gabriel cards when Mother Mary's come in. So there's some healing that's taking place, and there's some upliftment going on. Could be physical healing, or just some situation that was really difficult to deal with or has been causing you some problems has finally come to an end. Whew, and for some of you, it may have to do, as the card suggests, with taking a trip someplace. So, because there's a boat in there too that the unicorn is getting on. Okay. And the other card we had from them is the Eight of Water, a desire to move on, search for something more meaningful, spiritual and emotional growth. So it's a really interesting week of growth and healing, okay, that's going on. Something more fulfilling is coming. And this, this card that's at the end of the week, it says the search for something more meaningful. This is in the same position as the recognition card from Gabriel. So there's a lot of fulfillment, moving on to something that's more fulfilling for you, which is a great thing to know for this coming week. So anyways, those are our messages that we have for this coming week. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I thank you for the comments that you leave. I really do appreciate them. It's always nice to hear. So I hope you have a lovely week, and I look forward to speaking with you again soon. I may be doing some vlogs this week, so as the week progresses with regard to the messages that we've had over the course of the past couple weeks. So anyways, take care everyone. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend, and blessings for your week.